Over the past couple of weeks, Kanye West has been taking the world by storm. He started off his first conquest in the battlefield by attacking the economic stronghold of the United States, known as Wall Street. He started off by peppering Adidas and other companies for stealing his ideas and being big meanies. And then he transitioned to completely shitting on and absolutely annihilating his business dealings with the Gap. I think his major complaint there was that he actually thought he was going into business with the director of the Gap, Paul Lowe. I guess it was a big misunderstanding on that front. But he said that he was not going to business with Gap, and the only way he would even listen to your argument is if you had more money than him.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to argue with people that are broker than me about money.
Understood.
Which is actually a genius statement by Ye, because technically he's the richest man in the world, so how can you go against something? You know what I mean? It's like when he said, what's a man to a god? What's a god to someone who has $1 billion? You literally can't say anything. Now, going on from there, Kanye then set his sights on, oddly enough, playing a Uno reverse double shot card and just completely ripping apart the George Floyd death for some reason. At some point in time, he decided it wise to bring up the fact that George Floyd probably didn't die from police brutality.
Watch the George Floyd documentary that Candace Owens put up. One of the things that his two roommates said was, they want a tall guy like me. And the day when he died, he said a prayer for, 8 minutes. He said a prayer for 8 minutes. They hit him with the fentanyl. If you look, the guy's knee wasn't even on his neck like that.
But in reality, it was just a psyop, a false flag, if you will, where it was used to control the black populace of America and to basically vote Democratic, which is basically probably one of the biggest brain things Kanye has ever done, aside from making kids see ghosts. Now, you would think at this point Kanye has destroyed Wall Street. He's laid claim to Black Lives Matter, irrelevant at this point. But Kanye West didn't stop there. Kanye West decided he was going to go for the big home run. The bases were loaded, and he wanted a triple threat on the board. Now, he decided to go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. Now, thankfully, his initial attempt at going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people was actually mitigated to some degree because Twitter banned him, thank God. I mean, imagine if that post went up. I mean, you could look at the thread. There'd be like 6-7 million comments at least. It'd be insane. But that didn't stop Kanye West blitzkrieg against Jewish people. No pun intended. Sorry about that. It's very apropos. See, it did not stop his assault. He then went on multiple platforms and started to literally shit all over Jewish people, saying that they're thieves, they control the media, they essentially are the Illuminati controlling everything. Ironically enough, not connected to this, JP Morgan Chase then canceled his bank account and told him to fuck off. They just didn't want to fuck with Ye at that point. And at that point, Kanye took his biggest L up to that point, which was banking with Bank of America. That in itself you would think would be sufficient. But that didn't stop Kanye. He was not mitigated. He was not kicked out of the fight yet. He continued to go on his spree of shitting on black Democrats, the left, Jewish people. And a lot of people tried to talk to him. They tried to negate some of his statements, even people who rallied together to get enough money for Kanye to even listen to him. But Kanye had Black Israelite genjutsu on his side, where he was able to cancel the speech that came out of their mouths.
You can't tell me with your accent that me as an American, Jew, black person, that I cannot question that death and question the means he had. That was put on camera.
I'm not saying you
to
can't
traumatize. I'm not finished. La, 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 la means let me finish.
Okay.
So it's at this point of seeing Kanye in his final form, basically his perfect evolution, almost like a Ye 2, a Mew Ye 2, where he's now evolved to the point where even if you had enough money, he can just ignore you. And even if you tried to talk to him, he'd just say that you're racist or you're white, or even if you are Jewish, you're not a real Jew because he's actually a Black Israelite, and Uno reverse, flip it 2 times, skip a turn, I win the game. And it really was looking grim for humanity. It looked like really no one could go up against Kanye West. But then I remembered there is one whose name rings bells and one whose name is known in the streets of any corner where a Black Israelite may exist, and there is one individual who can possibly stop Kanye West.
and I'm gonna show you how you prove something, okay? When I go to my book, Codex Game Over by Shaka Ahmose, in here you have the original coffin text. I mean, you got the original pyramid text. Now, I'm not just gonna cite something from your Bible and say it's in there. I'm gonna give you the source, the verse and the chapter, so you could go see it. Because if I don't do that, I could just be making that shit up. Just like you could be making that shit up. Why? Because you didn't give nobody in your camp. Forget me. Forget anybody watching. You didn't give nobody in your camp a verse or a chapter. Right now, I want you to hold that paper up and show the camera the verse and the chapter, and yeah, the verse and the chapter that comes from. Do it right now. Do 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 do. Okay, yeah, it ain't there. All right, so hold up. No, I'm almost done. I got about 5 more minutes. I counted. Here we go. Here we go. Because you just got done, bro. You got roasted. You smoke coming off of you, dude. You got shot down. All right? Here we go.
At the end of every single video, make sure you ask people to rate and subscribe to your content. It makes them feel like they're involved even though they're really not. And most importantly, make sure they comment on every single video. If you have to, disguise it. You know, call it something like the question of the day. And really make them think you're gonna really read it when you really don't have to. Ha ha ha!